Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make these cake pops. So we've got here a plain pink, almost like a hot pink colour, and then we're going to add some pearl dust to get this shimmering effect. So I'm going to show you how to do both, whether you like it plain or whether you want it with some shimmer. So it's going to be a bit of a long tutorial, so let's get started. So first, I've got this cake here, which I've bought from my local supermarket. You can get this from Coles or Safeway from Australia. It's just a standard chocolate mud cake. They've always got it. Normally, it's a squiggle on top, but this was some Father's Day special, so it's got some one on it, which I'm going to remove some of it. If you get it with a squiggle, it's fine. You can just keep it and work with it. It's not going to make any difference, but you can get it in caramel mud cake. You can get sponge cake. Really, you can use any cake that you like, as long as it's a moist, fresh cake and it's got some form of ganache or buttercream frosting or something, just so you've got enough filling to bind it all together. So you put it in a big bowl and you crumble it, and that's all. That's pretty much crumbling. Get the kids to do this. All you have to do is just work through it and pretty much make a big ball. Now cover that and put it in the fridge. Let that chill for about 20 minutes and then they'll be easy to roll out into balls. Now as you can see, I've got a little scale here. I normally weigh them to about 28 grams. I find that a nice size, but you could go between 25 to 28 grams and that will give you a decent sized cake pop. So all you do is you pop some of your mixture onto the scale, roll it up, and I'm not going to really roll them up that perfectly today, that nice round shape, because I'm just doing a quick tutorial just to give you a basic idea of how I do them. But if you really want that nice round look, just keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it till you're happy with that shape. And that's why I love working with this cake, because it's such a moist cake, so it's so easy to work with. So if you're doing it for a party and say for example, instead of worrying about doing it on the day, you can actually make these 2-3 days in advance. So once this cake pop's actually dipped into chocolate, no air goes in it, so it still has that nice beautiful taste, and it's just, if you're new to cake pops, I really recommend you do it this way, because this will give you a nice feel of how your actual batch should be like. So this texture, once you're rolling it and you work around with it, so in the future if you do want to make your own recipe, you know what you're looking for, you know how moist it has to be, you know everything about it. So it's a really good stepping stone. If you want to start with cake pops and you don't want to go through making the recipe, try this method. So see how I've got them now ready on a plate. Once you roll them up, or put them in the fridge and let them set for about 20 minutes. So there we go. I've got about 23 of them, and I've let them sit in the fridge for about 20 minutes. And as you can see, some are rolled really nicely. You don't see any cracks or anything, and they've got a nice shape. And some you can see the cracks, but that doesn't matter, because once it's dipped into the chocolate, you're not going to see those cracks. They're very, very, so you don't really have to worry too much about the cracks, because the chocolate covers all up. All you have to be more worried about is to get a nice round shape, that's all. So now, for example, if you go to the supermarket and you don't know, you're making a certain amount of cake pops, the easiest way is, so for example, this mud cake I got was 660 grams, divided by 28 grams, it gave me 23 cake pops. So just make sure you look at the grams, divide it by whether you're doing it 25 grams, 28 grams, and then that will give you an idea of how many cake pops you're going to have from that cake. So whenever I'm colouring chocolate, I only use powder. I never use gel colour or anything else. I only use food colour powder. And my favourite chocolate to dip my cake pops in is the Nestle Melts. It's a really, really, really easy chocolate to work with, especially if you're a beginner. Not only does it taste great, but it's just the perfect consistency that you need for the cake pops. So I've put some in, put in the microwave for 30 seconds, and I'm stirring it. Now you have to stir it every 30 seconds. If you don't stir it, all that's going to happen is you're going to burn it, and you're going to get little lumps in there, and you're going to keep trying to smoothing it out, but you can't, because you've already burnt it. So every 30 seconds, take it out and stir it. Stir it for about 20 seconds. So leave it in the microwave for 30 seconds, take it out and stir it for 20 seconds. Mine only took 2 bursts, and now look at this beautiful, look how nice and runny and shiny that is. I have not added anything to it to thin this out. It's just 30 seconds and stir it for 20 seconds and 30 seconds, and that's what you get. And that's what you need to be able to get a nice smooth cake pop. Now I'm adding a bit of food color powder, as you can see, and I'm just going to stir it in. I add a little bit just in case it gets too dark quickly, because if you add too much, you might get too much of a dark color. But if that happens to you, just add some more white chocolate in it and melt it again so that thins out the color and lightens it again. I like to put a little bit and then more if I need some. See, I can tell right now that's too much of a light pink. I don't want a baby pink. I want more of a hot pink. So I'm going to add a little bit more and stir it in. And I like doing it that way too, because it bursts out any powders, because sometimes it can be little clumps of powders, and if you do it slowly it just thins it out nicely so you don't get any of those lumps and bumps in it. So I'm adding a bit more powder and I'm going to stir it. Now when you use gel, especially if you're not comfortable working with chocolate, the gel can seize the chocolate. If you pour it in too hot, it definitely makes the chocolate a lot more dull, so you lose that nice shine that powder keeps with. So I would really recommend don't use any gel. I always use powder and I've never ever had a problem. It just gives you a nice smooth color, a shine, and it's so easy to work with because it doesn't thicken it. So the whole time it's a nice thin powder. So now what you do is you just pop in a bit of it in your cake pop sticks and just dip put it in. This is the structure. You have to do this part. Don't skip this part. Don't straight away go dipping them in, because all that's going to happen is your cake pop's going to fall off. So I'm using just some straws here. They're not cake pop sticks. They're just normal straws. I didn't have any cake pop sticks. So I just use straws. But because this cake pop's not heavy, the straws are fine. They're not going to break off or they're not going to do anything. Dip it in halfway. Put them back in the fridge for about 10 minutes to set. And then you're ready to dip them in your chocolate. So now I'm going to put these in the fridge, do a few more, and then there we go. So now I'm going to pop them, and I've dipped them in the chocolate, and I'll show you how you do that. So you put it in a tall container. Put your chocolate in a tall container so it's easy to dip it in. If you've got a tall cup or anything like that would do. So now I've got my chocolate in there, and all I'm doing is dipping it in and swirling it. This is up to you. Find something that you're comfortable with. I like to swirl it and then just tap it off. But some people tap their wrist, and there's a lot of different methods. For me, it's just swirling and then just tapping any excess off and just shaking it around. And if you look, I hit my container there. So then just dip it in again. So if you bump spots or anything, just dip it in again. If your chocolate is nice and smooth and running, then you're not going to have any problem with the chocolate covering it nicely. So see how I'm just swirling it? Just do whatever you feel comfortable in, and then what I do is I swirl it and then I kind of shake the top of it. So you'll see now, so I'm just swirling it, getting all the excess off, and then I'm just going to kind of flatten out the top. So swirl, 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 and then I just kind of flatten out the top of them. You'll see here, I'm just shaking the top off, and there you go. Now, I didn't put mine in the fridge because I had them on a polystyrene block and it was too high if I had put them in the fridge. So I let them sit and harden in room temperature, so just normal on the table. It only takes about 10-15 minutes to set up completely. So it's a really good quality chocolate to work with. So there you go. I'm going to show you one more time. Just dip it in, swirl it around, and there you go. So I didn't put mine in the fridge. I just let them sit on the table like that for about 10-15 minutes and they harden up. I had some white little ribbons, so I just tied a little tie around them, a little bow around them. You can decorate them however you want. These are just plain. I had this vase lying around. I've never used it, so I thought, you know what, I'll use it today. So I've just put a polystyrene block and I'm using the back of a paintbrush. And I'm just going to make some little holes in there so then I can put the cake pops in there. Don't try and put the cake pops in straight away if you don't have a hole because you'll just break them. So there they go. And that is the final product. If I knew that I was going to put them in the vase, I wouldn't have used these straws. I would have used nice white cake pop sticks and probably even some, I don't know, something nicer. But I didn't plan this bit. I just never used this vase and I thought I'll just use it today just to show you how you can decorate it. So if you put this, like, just put some cellophane on top, this would be a really cute present. So you can leave it as that if you like that matte look, which I really like it, but then I do love shimmer as well. I love that pearly effect. So what I'm going to do now is get just a dry paintbrush, and I've just got some pearl dust, and you can use any brand pearl dust. If you go to your cake decorating shop, you'll notice that there's so many different brands and they all are the same thing. I've tried many of them and they pretty much give you the same result. And to dust pearl shimmer is really simple. So all you do is, it's like applying makeup eyeshadow on. Like, just get the dust and just put it anywhere you like. You can do circular motion, you can go straight down. It's not going to leave any streaks or anything on it, so you can do whatever you feel comfortable. Just work around however you like to dust it. So there, that's one done already. It only takes like a second to do them. Right? It's such a quick and easy thing. So can you see now the difference? That's the one. Now I'm going to go ahead and do all of them. So again, you're just dusting them. Another really nice look you can get with dusting them is, say for example, if it's a wedding, you don't colour your chocolate, you just leave your chocolate the colour it is. So it's like more like an off-white creamy colour. And then you put this pearl shimmer, and if you put them in little cellophane individual ones, they'll make really beautiful pearly cake pop favors. Like, that will just look gorgeous, and it'll be really simple because you're not colouring the chocolate. You're never going to get short. So if you notice, I've only got about 15 in my vase. That's because I didn't have enough chocolate to do the other 10. So always make extra, because you can always use it later as well. And yeah, another really good thing about the pearl dust is if you're doing a frozen theme, if you do like blue cake pops and then you use this pearl shimmer on it, it'll look really cute. Like, imagine right now they're light blue and then you're putting this pearl shimmer on them. And with the cake pop one, you could with the frozen ones, do it in a way where you don't cover the whole cake pop. So just do like little pieces of it, little areas of it. This shimmer actually looks a lot nicer in real life than recording it. With recording it, it doesn't look that great. You don't really notice that shine and that little glitter, because it's got like little glitter specks on it, but you don't actually notice that, I've realized, in the recording. Even if you zoom it in, you might be able to see it a little bit, but it looks much nicer in real life. Now, because I hate those sticks on that vase, it just looks, I don't know, those cake pop sticks just look weird. I'm going to try and hide it, so I'm just going to add some pearl or something to this little vase of mine. Oh, you can't even see it, but I added some pearls in there just to kind of break out all that brown. There it is. There's my pearls. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's a very easy kind of do it yourself, do it with your kids kind of tutorial. And please subscribe to my channel, like my channel, or share it. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see anything else, this is my first video, so all the shaking and everything, so sorry about that. I'll get better. I'm just playing around with the camera and trying to get the right colour and angles and everything. So now this is my favourite part. I normally don't like cake pops, but because I love this particular cake, it just, obviously I know it's going to taste great, and it does, and it just gives you this nice, really moist cake. It's so nice. It actually tastes like a cake, but it's got like that ganache that puts together, so it doesn't taste very cluggy. Ugh, mushy. I mean, that is so nice. That tastes so good. And you experiment with them. The caramel one is amazing as well, and the white chocolate one. The white chocolate mud cake is so nice as well. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and please don't forget to subscribe. This is my first video, and thank you so much. See you later. Bye.